evening. I'll shuffle between our various speakers and our videos. That music was something else. It was a little loud for me, and candidly, I think I'm more the vintage of the Beach Boys. But whatever, welcome to this event, and thank you, all of you, for your tremendous support of the Grand Canyon Council in 2020. What your support did was it gave the council the ability to continue to prepare our young people to make ethical choices in their lifetime. Now, next year, I really hope we can do this in person, shake hands, and just have a little bit of camaraderie. But for tonight, this is, of course, all Zoom, but we wanted to make sure we didn't miss this opportunity to thank you for all that you're doing for the council. Now, I've held personally numerous volunteer positions in the council over many decades. But I have to be candid, the position I hold today, right now, is probably the most important position I've ever held. Certainly, there's no position more important. What position is that, you ask? Well, I happen to be the assistant Webelos den leader of my grandson Paxton's Cub Scout Pack 275 in Tempe, Arizona. And it doesn't get more important than that. It's where the rubber meets the road, and you all know that. When you think about it, my grandson and all the boys and girls in his pack are actually living messages. They are messages that we are sending to a future time that we will not see. Never for the future of our nation has scouting been more important than it is today. Leadership, character, 12 points of the Scout Law. This is the message that we are sending with our Boy Scout Council, with our young messengers, our Scouts. Now, this evening, we're going to share a couple of videos, and a number of folks are going to have a chance to make some comments. I think you're going to be impressed by some of the videos that our Blossom Digital Marketing Group has put together. I know I was. But first, and now, one of the very special volunteers in our council, Mike Hoffman, is going to say a few words. Mike, take it away.
Thanks, Mike. I got to work with you a little bit because, you know, on these Zoom things, Mike, you can just turn down the volume on your speakers and the music won't be so loud.
I was afraid to do that, or I thought I would disconnect myself or something.
Yeah.
And Mike, he said a very few words.
We need to get some of the Cub Scouts to help you with some of that technology.
You're absolutely right.
Well, hey, everybody. So I wanted to take a couple minutes tonight and probably begin by just saying thank you to everyone that's on the call tonight on behalf of myself, the board of directors. You're going to hear from our council leadership, but I want to be one of many tonight that thanks you for your time, your money, your energy as we have moved the Grand Canyon Council forward this past 12 months. I did prepare some comments, and so I want to walk through those because I think that I hope that some of them will resonate with you. You know, the Boy Scouts are now going to hit about 111 years old. For 111 years, the Boy Scouts of America have been a place for youth of the community to learn invaluable skills and lessons that, frankly, not many other organizations allow them to have access to. And especially in 2021, the Grand Canyon Council will celebrate 100 years in Arizona serving youth, building character, and creating better leaders, better parents, better mentors, and better citizens. And that's really the litmus test for me. And one of the reasons that I stay engaged is the long game, if you will, the ability to impact the kids that we deal with through all of the different programs. I hope you'll agree that development of character and values and leadership are learned and developed, right? We don't just come out with those. And there's no organization, I believe, that does a better job of developing those things than Scouting. The fact that the Scout Oath and Law have remained timeless, I believe, is testament to Scouting's resilience and actually gives me tremendous hope for the next 111 years for our movement. So as I was preparing my comments tonight, I was thinking about my own story a little bit, and many of you, I know many of you on the phone tonight, but I'm a product of the Grand Canyon Council, the old Theodore Roosevelt Council first, and then the Grand Canyon Council. I was an Eagle Scout in this council, earned my Eagle. I served as the Lodge Chief of Wipplewicki Lodge back in the 1980s. That'll date me. I see Patrick Gamble on the phone. Patrick followed me in some of those leadership positions. I went on to serve as a section chief and had the great honor, privilege, frankly, to serve 4 summers at Camp Geronimo on the seasonal staff. And then I went on to serve 3 summers at Philmont Scout Ranch. My story's a little bit unique in that as I was exiting or finishing as Lodge Chief, I had the opportunity to run for Section Chief of the Order of the Arrow and was then elected the National Vice Chief of the Order of the Arrow. So I was one of 2 national youth representatives my freshman and sophomore year in college that represented the Boy Scouts. And we traveled all over the country, actually went all over the world. And I really met some really inspirational people that impacted me so significantly that as I began my career and I started to decide how I was going to spend my time and my money, clearly I had an affinity to the Scouts, but I made a definite decision to get my career started and then come back and participate first locally with our Order of the Arrow Lodge and then our council and then nationally. And so my story, while probably not unique to some of you who worked on camp staff, is simply one of making a real decision to stay engaged because of what the organization did for me. And so in my travels and as I have seen things kind of blossom in my life, both professionally and in the scouting stuff, I always go back to a couple people that have really inspired me. And really set the tone for giving back to the organization. I suspect we all have mentors or those that have inspired us, but I want to tell you a couple of stories, frankly. So as I said, I spent 3 summers at Philmont Scout Ranch on the seasonal staff. I've never hiked so much in my life, and as Andy Price will tell you, I don't care if I go hiking ever again in my life. I hike so much, but while I was there, I was in awe that this guy by the name of Wade Phillips would have the foresight to, and he was a very, very successful, very wealthy man, but he had the foresight to say, take some of my property and develop it into what is now Philmont Scout Ranch. So the message to me there was always that you have to look at the long game as you develop youth and as you work in scouting. The long game was what Wade Phillips did. And it continues to pay dividends every day. The other thing that struck me as I was preparing is we are in a time right now in the Grand Canyon Council where we are rubbing shoulders with one of the most significant donors to the Boy Scouts of America. In fact, our own David Alexander, who I don't know if he's on the call tonight or not, but is by all rights one of the most significant donors to the Boy Scouts in the last 10 years within the scouting movement. And that has not only impacted the national organization, but it has impacted the Grand Canyon Council the last 5 years because of his commitment, his all-in attitude about how he gives his time, how he gives his resources, and how he guides and looks again at that long game. So we are living in a time where we may not have been able to rub elbows with Wade Phillips, but we can certainly rub elbows with a man like David Alexander to not only say thank you, but to also say, hey, we want to ride along with you as you think about the long game and how you are going to affect kids. And so I get inspired every day by just thinking about what was Wade Phillips thinking, what's Dave Alexander thinking as he talks and thinks about scouting. So I'm inspired daily, dig a little deeper with my time, my influence, my resources. I really love the program, right? Again, part of it is I'm a product of the program. Part of it is I really genuinely enjoy to see the results of all of our work, and I hope you guys, all of you that are on the phone, do as well. So our council is, I would tell you, getting ready to click on all cylinders. COVID is no doubt made a significant impact on how we deliver scouting in this community. Add in the financial issues at the national council level, and our scout executive has been spending a lot of time working on those things. We expect a lot of that to get cleaned up in the next 6 to 8 months, and we're going to start to grow. I am incredibly enthused with the leadership team led by Tom Curzon and past President Lisa Keegan about where scouting goes. And I frankly expect big things coming off of a rebounding economy, some of the things that the board of directors have put in place. And so the outlook is anything but grim for scouting in the Grand Canyon Council. And I will stack up our operational capabilities against any council in the United States, especially as we come out of this COVID and the financial issues. Everybody knows we run 4 excellent camping programs. We had 272 Eagle Scouts this past year. Scouts earned over 6,000 merit badges. All of that is the underpinnings of the beginnings of great success as we exit 2020 and into 2021. So I'm very, very optimistic about where we go. I wanted to again say thank you to everybody on the Zoom call tonight. Be inspired is my message to all of you. Be inspired. Stay at it. Step up when you can, with your time, your energy, your resources, because we all benefit by collectively stepping up together. So as I transition a bit, I wanted to introduce Kylie and Drake Clayton. They're part of the journey too tonight, and I wanted them to tell you a little bit about their adventures at Cub Scout Day Camp at the Herd Scout Pueblo at South Mountain. And just know, again, thank you for your efforts, and I look forward to what's coming in the next couple of years. Again, Kylie and Drake, take it away.
Hi, my name is Drake Clayton, and I'm in 5th grade. I like Scouts because I get to make new friends and do many fun things.
Hi, my name is Kylie. I am in 3rd grade. I like being in Scouts because I make a lot of friends too.
I like to do archery, and I like slingshots and learning how to arm some guns and stuff.
I like doing these. Mostly I like doing the bow and arrow.
We want to know what you love about camp, so tell me where we're going to go.
First, we're going to be heading to the Ramada over there. When I go here in summer camp, we do fun activities, like we sometimes play a few games, and we sometimes do some coding and other activities. Kylie, where do you want to go next?
I want to go to the bow and arrow.
So bow arm out. This is your bow arm. Bow arm out like this. So these 3 fingers below. Bow arm out. Pull, 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 pull.
My mom and dad, I like having them in my group because they can teach me how to do many things. Say I'm having trouble with doing something, they can just teach me how to do it.
Sometimes when I don't know what we're doing, Mom and Dad tell me what to do.
Thank you for helping us and donating to help the pack.
Thank you for all the money that you gave me.
Thank you, Drake and Kylie, is almost an understatement. Weren't they adorable? I have a special fondness in my heart for the Cub Scouts, and you just want to give those kids a hug and you want to watch them grow and evolve. When you talk about future messages into the future and messengers, we couldn't get a better set of messengers than Drake and Kylie. It was wonderful. Well, and thank you, Mike Hoffman, for your very nice comments. But now we'd like to turn things over to our current brand new board president, Mr. Tom Curzon. Tom, take it away.
Thank you, Mike. Well, I've only a few days on the job here, and first of all, I want to make sure can you hear me? Okay. Okay. One lesson now learned is don't follow Mike and Mike because they'll steal all your thunder. The thunder in the sense of they made a lot of the points I just automatically and reflexively would make about scouting and the importance of scouting and where we are and you know, particularly 100 years into it. And so I'm not going to repeat all that. I do feel like a cousin of Mike Hoffman and his emphasis on the long game, because for those who know me, I'm a long game player too. And I think that gives me, I really identify with that. And I think that's exactly the moment in time we find ourselves. So just a little bit about me. I've been associated with scouting and involved in scouting for about 22 years over 3 different periods of my life. First as a youth, where I earned my Eagle Scout, attended Philmont, the 1969 National Jamboree, was active in Order of the Arrow and Lodge Chief there. And then again, when my 2 sons joined scouting, and I was active in Troop 644 for about 13 years as an active dad and troop committee chairman. And then I thought I had retired from scouting and was moving on to other things. And then I got a knock on the door from Andy. And it turns out that I think Andy and Lisa must have been missionaries in their prior lives because I was very skeptical about kind of this current state of things and clearly uninformed. And they proceeded to answer a whole lot of questions of mine. And the interesting transformation for me was on my own path. I'd once been a very traditional scouter where I thought, okay, Boy Scouts is for boys, Girl Scouts is for girls. Boys need men to role model, girls need women to role model, and never the two should meet. And over time, my view changed, and kind of to my surprise. But as I've been out and about and involved in the business world and the like, I've come to really especially appreciate the leadership training and the character building that Scouts provides and the impact it provides. And I couldn't think of a single reason why that shouldn't be available to all kids. And as Lisa and Andy were talking to me in particular about really a new day in scouting, about its inclusiveness, and then also where we are kind of in our arc, in our history. And I really was persuaded, you know what, I feel like I should get involved again and help out. And here I am. So I am delighted to be here. I'm very much looking forward to my stint as really the team leader and working with our team to make a difference in scouting. I will tell you, and I agree with Mike's assessment, that we really have wonderful opportunity ahead of us. But I will also say it is a moment in time where we have an opportunity to change the arc of scouting. We have the opportunity to really expand it and have it be much more inclusive. Today, we're only about 6,000 Scouts. And we can really, you know, Andy tells me that we could be, if we had a normal percentage or an average percentage across BSA, 20,000 or more in our population areas. So we have a market that's big enough, and so we're going to, the way I've described it is we're going to lean in, and we're going to lean in hard. We in particular are going to focus on a couple of things. One is going to be innovation in our programming, innovation that's going to look at not only revenue sources, but how we deliver programming and how we make it relevant to our kids today. The companion with that is marketing. And we want to develop marketing muscle. We want to develop marketing DNA. At our, what I am now told is the longest board and member meeting in council history last week, but one that was extremely well attended and without a single complaint that anybody has brought up with me. The board unanimously, and as I've said to them, in violent agreement, authorized our leadership to lean in and retain professional help for advertising and marketing, and to take some steps to become more innovative in our programming and hire some people we need, and to put in place a sales team that is going to take advantage of our marketing and advertising activities. So I will tell you, it is a significant moment in time, and we can't do that without you. Your time and interest and love for scouting, your contributions are part of that, but it's not even close to the entire story. So I just want to tell you from my standpoint as president of the board, that we very much appreciate every single thing you do, and want to thank you, repeatedly, because it is the all of us who are going to get this done. And I totally agree with both Mikes that it has never been more important to provide the character building and the leadership training and the fun that scouting can provide to our kids. And to all of our kids. So with that, I get to thank our Eagle Society members, which is our society that recognizes our supporters who have made significant impacts to our scouting program successes through our annual Friends of Scouting campaign. And we have 3 levels. They're noted on this slide. And what I'm going to do is, as there'll be a slide for each of these 3 categories, I'm going to call out and just say a couple things about each of our friends and members who have stepped up and are being recognized in these categories. So we'll start with the Bronze Eagle. And Paul Delaney, who's a longtime donor, family of Eagle Scouts, and a local entrepreneur. Chris Kaup is a strong financial supporter, board member, and has been providing, and will continue to provide absolutely invaluable legal counsel to us as we navigate national BSA's challenges. Richard Radovenko, our New Day in Leadership event sponsor that unfortunately got canceled. He's a new donor in 2020 and a very strong supporter of scouting, and we thank him. Ross Searle, longtime friend of scouting and longtime supporter of the council. Rick and Mary Shangra. Rick is a current board member and our current VP of development for the council, and you may get to meet Rick in the next year or 2, would be my guess. Christopher Smith, who's a board member and a longtime scouter. Brian Steck, a longtime donor and supporter. SRP and Juana Hernandez, an event and long merit badge sponsor. We thank them. The Surplus Line Association and J. Scott Weddy, longtime donor, longtime scouter and volunteer. United Association of Plumbers and Steamfitters Local 469, which is our merit badge and Sporting Clays Classic sponsor. And the Yuma Regional Medical Center in the Gila River District. we want to thank each and every one of our Bronze Eagle sponsors. Now we'll talk about our Silver Eagles. The Palo Verde Generating Station, under the leadership, for our purposes, of Monty Anderson, merit badge sponsor and longtime supporter. Dan, God, I'm gonna mess this up, Germond, the Revere America crowd, dedicated to scouting, generous donor. Dan's dad was an Eagle Scout. He values those family lessons. Eric Heiser, a current board member, current VP of programs, a longtime scouter and one of our past presidents. Mike and Maggie Hoffman, you heard from Mike, and Mike Rooney spoke some of Mike Hoffman's background. He is a longtime member. He's a national BSA board member, active in the Order of the Arrow, and currently national president of the Order of the Arrow. Generous donor to us, including of it not only his time and his and Maggie's money, but he's also been a very active past president for us. John and Lisa Graham Keegan distinguish us as both being past presidents, both longtime board members and generous donors and supportive of youth development across Arizona. And Shamrock Foods and Kent McClellan. Kent's a board member, active scouter. His family has been active in our council for a very long time. He is highly involved in scouting in Arizona. And John and Elaine Winterstein. John is a board member, active scouters, both of them for more than 25 years in the council, retired police chief of Paradise Valley, helped oversee and manage Scout Reach for our council. And then finally, well, and let me say again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And now our Gold Eagles. Dave Alexander, whom I cannot top Mike Hoffman, and Mike knows Dave very well, and I will simply note that Dave is somebody we're deeply indebted to for his service and his contributions, but I want to note he's a former board member, he's a member of our national board, he's a Silver Beaver Award recipient and holds multiple award titles, and like so many involved adults, he's an Eagle Scout. And finally, Bill Luke Autos, Mr. Don Luke, longtime supporter and merit badge sponsor. So thank you to our Gold Eagles. Thank you to all of our Eagles. And we hope you continue to invest in scouting in Arizona and help us to, like I said, lean in, because it's never been more important. Now we want to take another minute and highlight our Aviation Explorers program and introduce you to a couple of our newest Eagle Scouts. First, we'll hear from Tim and Garrett. So Tim and Garrett, take it away.
I'm Garrett Campos.
I'm Tim O'Hara, and we're part of the Aviation Explorers post at Falcon Field Airport.
I am an Eagle Scout. I joined scouting when I was 8 years old. I chose to take this path to follow my grandpa. He really inspired me to be a pilot as well, and I chose the Explorer specifically.
I joined when I was 6. I joined as a Tiger Scout at Pac 10, and I got my Eagle Scout a couple years ago. I joined the Explorer post because I wanted to fly, because both of my parents are pilots and I love aviation.
My instructor, Chris Walton, was a huge help to me. He really taught me, how to strive to be excellent, how to be not just an average pilot, but how to be a great pilot. And he really showed me how to really be patient. He had to be really patient with me with it. Really did a lot for me in getting my pilot's license.
Yeah, Chris Walton was also my instructor. So he is a really great guy. He spent the entire summer this year working with me because he had it off from his airline pilot job. He spent the whole summer just doing ground school. Like, we'd go fly 3 or 4 times a week, instruct me in the airplane and then on the ground after. And he just spent so much time helping me, and it's amazing because he's a volunteer.
Yeah, our whole post is made up of volunteers. Yeah, there are some really great leaders in our post. They really make learning fun and excellent. They gave us these amazing opportunities, and we're very thankful for our opportunity to have such great sponsors. Without them, most of our programs wouldn't be available to all of us. To have these great opportunities, and a lot of these programs are run off of volunteers, so it really means a lot to us that you're willing to back us.
Just like to say thank you to everyone who's ever donated, just because they've helped make scouting a thing, and it's been so instrumental. It's been such a huge part of my life that anyone who helps is an amazing person for doing that.
Clear prop!
Thank you, Tim and Garrett. That looked like fun. And now what I'd like to do is introduce two of our celebrity Eagle Scouts, Tori and Quinn.
Hi, my name's Tori Schumann. I'd say I've been involved in scouting probably since birth. When I finally came of age, I joined venturing at 14. I did that for about 2 years. I had the privilege of earning my Ranger. As soon as Scouts BSA opened, February 1st, 2019, I started on the path and I got to earn my Eagle. A little bit about my Eagle project. I had the privilege of putting together a parking project. So the church we meet at, Paradise Valley United Methodist Church, I got to add 4 new handicap parking spots as well as a walkway, and we repainted 4 other ones. Both of our units, Troop 3030, Troop 30, and Crew 2030, we all get to meet there for free. So I really wanted to just give back and say thank you to them because they've done so much for us. They really have. Overall, I think scouting has been the greatest privilege of my life. I know a lot of people say that, but truly, you learn so much. You meet so many people. You get to try so many things, discover so many things about yourself. It's really just a wonderful opportunity. I just wanted to say that without your financial support, we probably wouldn't be able to do half of what we do because of your support. So thank you so much from me and everyone else who's ever been involved in scouting.
My name's Quinn Height. I started scouting when I was really young. I started as a tiger cub. In Wolves, I met 2 friends that stuck with me all the way through scouting. They're still my friends. I started scouting because of the people I met. I met many people that made such a good impression on me that I decided to continue all the way to where I am. So my Eagle project, I helped my school's drama program. I built 2 shelves to store costume boxes on for their costume lab, and then I also built a paintbrush drying rack because before they put the paintbrushes on the wall above the sink and it would leak down, so I built one that would sit on the side of the sink so that got rid of the mess. The Scouts have a lot of fun with everything they do, but none of it can happen without all the adults that make such a great impact and get us to where we need to be, make things happen. And it's so important that people like my mom can step up and really help get that done and help in any way that's needed in the troop and Cub Scout packs. I want to thank all the donors for all the help that you do in so many ways. Everything you do is beneficial to everything. It's very helpful to all of us.
Well, President Tom, thank you. Thank you so much for your comments. And weren't those 2 videos just incredible? Tim and Garrett and Tori and Quinn, those young people are just amazing. They're articulate, they're supportive of the program. The videos were wonderful. It really is encouraging and heartwarming to see what those young people are doing and how they love the program and what they've received from the program. Well, right now, I'd like to turn things over to our former council president, Lisa Graham Keegan, who incidentally just finished 2 years of a fabulous job as our president. And so, Lisa, it's now your turn. Take it away.
Thank you, Mike. That's so nice. So as Mike said, I am the current past president of the Grand Canyon Council and also vice president now for diversity and inclusion with Chris Bustamante, a job I am very excited about. And thank you so much to all of you. There's 61 of us on this in the evening on a Zoom. And I have to tell you, I love these Zoom meetings. I know that we've all been living there. Instead of meeting in person this year, and it's kind of crazy. And I want to tell you that this week I was on a national news program via Zoom, and the person who would ordinarily be in your ear, who now just talks to your computer and nobody else's, kept saying to me, can you move a little bit more to the right? I want to show you something because this is really fun. Gets to what we're going to talk about. But if I move, if I had the light on, you could see we have a bar right there. So apparently we frown on this on the national news. You're not supposed to put your decanters out on your Zoom screen. You're supposed to put books up there that make it look like you've been reading the dictionary or something. So anyway, but it gets to a couple of points I'd like to make, which is that Jen and I have been blessed in our lives to be able to work on things that allow youth to become fully who they are. For us, it's a matter of faith. The Creator sends us with certain gifts, and the organizations and the people around you ought to be able to help you realize who you are. Now, John and I are Irish Episcopalians who like to end the day with each other and single cocktail to see if we've done a good job in the day delivering what we should. Mostly what we have been able to focus on our youth. And in every job that we've had over the years, and I work in education and John works in all sorts of things, public policy, we're able to do what everybody here has been saying, and that is to invest in people and things that will last much longer than we do. And we've been blessed to give to the Grand Canyon Council for years because we believe in its future. We've seen what it does. So in our own children, our children and our grandchildren, all of our boys were scouts. I was able to be a den leader for my son, and it's been a privilege to watch our grandsons do that. We have a new granddaughter who we hope will be in scouting. And more than that, we see that all of the youth like you're watching tonight and the difference, the genuine difference this makes in their lives. So for us, it's just a privilege and we're so happy to be able to do it. I want to tonight recognize two categories of donors. I want to thank all of you for everything you're doing, your time, your treasure, your talents, amazing at the Grand Canyon Council. I think we are so blessed right now with the strength of our organization. And I want to recognize the 1993 Society donors to Friends of Scouting and also the James West Society donors to our endowment. In 1993, that was the year that the Grand Canyon Council converged with the Teddy Roosevelt Council, Theodore Roosevelt Council, for those of you who didn't know him personally. And we created the 1993 Society to recognize significant and consistent giving for Friends of Scouting. And this is so important to us because, as you know, Friends of Scouting is that's the backbone for our voluntary giving. That is how we run our program, our camperships, our staffing, facilities. If we do it, FOS is supporting it, and we wouldn't be doing it without Friends of Scouting. And this level of giving and this kind of predictability, monthly giving or commitments over a year are huge. This is the backbone of the giving that we rely on. So I want to show there's some different levels, as you're seeing, different levels of giving. And we are gonna run these names up on slides, and really, I hope you read through them. We don't have time to individually recognize everybody, but I want you to see these names and realize this is how we really run the Grand Canyon Council. So we are especially grateful to all of these contributors. There we go. There's the Bronze Society, the first level of giving. And as you can see, here's our donors. I think we'll just go forward into the silver and recognize these donors as well. As you can see, it's a lot of people that are giving in that Bronze Society category, and that is critical to us. And now silver, and we want to recognize and take a look at those names as well. Thank you all so much, Silver Society donors. And now the Gold Society. Thank you all so much, Gold Society donors and all of the 1993 Society members. As you can see, that is a sustaining group of donors to the Council, and we are truly grateful. I want to move on to thanking those in our James West endowment. They're called James West Fellows. The James West category is created for those who give $1,000 or more to our endowment fund. And this is in addition to also their Friends of Scouting giving. And this is just a very significant award, oftentimes given by individuals on behalf of somebody else, and maybe at a significant juncture in scouting for them. James West, for those of you who haven't read much about him, he was the first Chief Scout for the BSA. He said he'd do it for 6 months. 32 years. But read about him. He was orphaned, as you can see from the slide, afflicted with TB. His life story is phenomenal. And to me, the thing that makes him true is that he became an attorney in his life. And at one point, a young man stole his car. Instead of going after him or wanting to prosecute, he represented and got the charge released. So that was great, and helped him move on a different path. So that's a perfect leader for us at Scouting. We believe in who can be, but James West, very, very inspirational guy. Really, this is a perfect recognition for those who are giving to the endowment. I know for Ron and I, we have felt very privileged to give to the endowment. It is truly a belief in what's going on in Scouting. It continues to be. And right now, quite frankly, the donors to our endowment are allowing us to see a real powerful future at the Grand Canyon Council. So we really want to say thank you to those donors. You can see here, there are different levels, and we want to thank the contributors of the bronze level for the endowment: Tom Curson, David Marquardt, Jason Yoon, and gifts made in honor of David Lee Muse by William Popescu, and in honor of Brett Johnson by Christopher Smalley. We truly appreciate those gifts. Thank you so much to all of our endowment contributors and all of the contributors to the council. Truly, truly, we wouldn't be doing this without you.
And Lisa, thank you for your wonderful years of service, for that wonderful presentation and acknowledgement of some very, very special people. Well, as we draw to a close this evening, I hope that the videos were fun, that you enjoyed the presentations made by some very special people. I also want to point out that we have over 3,000 volunteers who participate in giving the program to our scouts, and they contribute their time, talent, and of course their treasure to all our youth and the leaders of tomorrow. I also, before we sign off, want to thank the team at the Grand Canyon Council for all their work in putting this together. And even though it was well done, I hope next year it's not Zoom and it is in person. Now, it's hard to express gratitude candidly in a Zoom conversation or Zoom call, but as all of the speakers have said, and I would like to echo one last time, thank you for all that you've done for the Grand Canyon Council in 2020 and all that you're going to be doing going forward. We appreciate you. We hope you stay safe and healthy. And now our final message is going to be from the Clayton family. And after this, our meeting will end. Although at the end of this presentation, you're going to receive an email with the coordinates to a great video, if you haven't already seen it, and I've seen it twice. And this video highlights our inaugural class of female Eagle Scouts. You're not going to want to miss that. And as I say, if you've already seen it, you're going to want to see it again. So with those final words, thank you again so much. And here is our final message from the Clayton family. And once this is done, the Zoom meeting is over. Thanks again.
Hi, I'm Dean.
Hi, I'm Drake. Hi, I'm Morgan Clayton. I'm committee chair for PAC 416. I'm here with my family. I enjoy being part of the PAC, part of Cub Scouts. It gives me the opportunity to spend more time with my family. A lot of time that is taken away from work or other social events. And having set, calendar events and activities gives us the opportunity to make sure that we are more involved with them and less involved with our day-to-day.
I am the AOL Den leader for PAC 416. I love being involved with PAC to, really spend time with the kids and, get to lead the den and kind of teach them all of the, the values of scouting and get to go through all the adventures with them and kind of guide them and explore and watch them grow and become young adults, really. And we get to have a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it.
From our family to yours. Thank you.
We're lean, we're mean, we're 416.